Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it to. I'm Bushka, and this is Minizone. And basically, I'm doing two videos on Minizone. One is school drops in Minizone, and the other one is not school drops. Well, that was exciting. What a surprise. One is not school drops, one is school drops. There you go. What an amazing category. What a way to define success. We've got a low bar around here, boys and girls, when it comes to success. But the reason I do mini zone drops, and this is all solo versus squad, by the way, is quite simple. I do like to practice with war mode. If you want time on target, war mode is your man. It is the way forward, or your woman, or your non-binary gender fusion of whatever the hell you are. That is what Warzone is. But the thing is, there aren't a lot of consequences in Warzone. On Warzone, you die, you get back up, you respawn, you drop out of a plane, you have a good time, and that's grand. If you play Minizone, solo versus squad, you get all these situations that you will actually wind up facing in game, where you've got to really think on your feet and work out where the best exits and entry points for buildings and for beginning engagements are, and you've got to always be aware that there's more than likely multiple people who are going to have their guns trained in your general direction at any one point in time. And more than that, it's really good for teaching patience. What do I mean by that? Well, if you knock someone, you don't just run up and kill them immediately. Quite often, the knock is just a tactical part of the game where you're knocking the target and then you are leaving that target alone, and the knock is just your way to disengage. And no matter how... This baffled me, this. These guys are having a fight with guys down the end of the road. So they just... I was sure this guy wouldn't keep crawling along. He must have realised I was here, but he just kept crawling along. So I'm like, I'll chuck a grenade out there, right? So I'll clear him. No, but he's just crawled out again. Like, he's just slowly crawling backwards and forwards. And then he stood up. Like, he had me at 6s and 7s. What a wonderful human being. MDVDP. Well done, amigo. Where the hell was I? So, I played solo versus squad, and I do this a lot. One of the reasons I'm doing this at the moment is I don't know when I'm going to drop this video, but raiding season is kind of just in the middle of nowhere, right? So there's no real impetus to try and get raiding, and I really like playing first person anyway, and I was never going to get to Conqueror this season in first person because you can't start the season midway through and make content for multiple different YouTube channels and still get enough time to, you know... I grinned that guy in there, by the way, and then killed his teammate as his teammate pushed me. So I'm going to go back in there and finish him off. Now, where the hell was I? Wow, easily distracted. Like someone... I've got ADD, let's go ride bikes. There's a bloke running past. He's a bot. I'm going to leave him alone. The big thing I find about this solo versus squad caper, and the fact that it's so engaging and dynamic, is that the odds are always stacked against you. So you get guys like this who heard me killing someone in there and then just decided to camp me out. And the zone is coming, 26 seconds, and the zone's here. So you've got to think on your feet. You've got to figure out ways to get out of these situations. You've got multiple targets at all times. You don't know, is he on his own? Does he have a mate? Is he going to go straight down? And then I realize, hey, he's probably the third member of that squad that I just knocked over here. So he's got a real bone to pick with me. There's a bit of vengeance going on here. I'm going to have to clear him. He'll probably be the last bloke, so I can risk getting the smoke out. And then I'll do something you've probably seen me do a lot on stream. Just do a little bit of pro lean on the left side of the smoke or the right side of the smoke. Edge slightly out with the SLR and drill him hard with that 7.62 round. Just to the edge. There we go. Excellent stuff. But the zone's now here, right? So, you know, I'm going to cut this short, but this is, the reason I'm putting this one in particular is RP Counting, who is one of the subscribers on the channel, said, hey, I killed you the other day. And I'm like, you weren't that Wally who got me in the fog. But yeah, that was me at Milltown. I'm like, oh, look how hard I worked. I went through 3 med kits, a full... down to my last little bit, taking painkillers and Red Bull so I can get through the zone. I finally get here. There's smoke up ahead. I know there's someone in that building. They've had a gunfight. So I can hear them moving around. I prep up so that I'm going to get distance between me and them, so when they jump out the window, I can pop around and hit them, and I have to hit them before they get the ground, because if I take one bullet, I'm dead. There he is. right, doing it perfectly. I've cleared the guy who was camping me. I've used the smoke. RP counting. You should be ashamed of yourself. You absolute grub. Here he is. He's just lying down here in the grass. Go. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. You little glub. So, I've turned this down because basically there's a clown in here with his mic on and I forgot to mute him. And this is exactly what I'm talking about here with the squads. I get an AK, I drop first, get my drop shoes on, I get in there first, kill the first guy, knock him, don't worry about him, he's done. Just got to get this guy down, that's 2. Knock him, don't worry about him, he's knocked, he's not going to hurt anyone. Back here, and clear the 3rd one. And we get 3 kills out of that. But I don't kill the 4th guy for ages, he's in the other room, but who cares about that? What happened there that was really important was that I've learned that you just leave the knocks alone. Now I'm going to show you one game here. This is a hell of a fun game. I screwed my jump up, I'll be honest, right? So I didn't mean to land here, but then a whole squad lands on top of me. And I basically have this bizarre situation. I've only got 30 rounds and this person is lagging like a mofo or slide showing intentionally. So when that happens, I aim at where I know they're going to have to be, like opening the door. And then I dodge the Superman punch. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. I'm just going to sit back and let you watch this one. I'm going to shut up. Apart from one thing. This guy, the reason I try and punch him is, look, I've got 0 ammunition. 0 ammo. How do you like me now? How about them apples? Couple of things on that engagement, which I think were really important, is so much of about playing solo versus a squad when you are being aggressive and you're actually pushing into people like I do, is you learn to take it one problem at a time. And you're going to see again in the next engagement, I just face the problem that's in front of me, clear that one, and then move on to the next. And if you have multiple things in front of you that you aren't enjoying, then you just get rid of the most important one. And you'll learn to prioritize your engagements. You'll learn to pick and choose the people that you need to get rid of, whether a knock is worth clearing. And you'll actually find quite often that you'll ignore the people that are knocked, which isn't always the case. And what I've done here is I've set this up. There's a natural bowl at the top of this, natural area that's really good. There's a great depression there just underneath that radar tower, and you can use it to go hull down, for lack of a better term, from my tanking days. What I'm going to do here, I make one error, and I'll point that out to you. That is pretty evident. I just talked about clearing one problem at a time and prioritizing those problems, and I nearly blow it. They get a headshot in on me, even though I've knocked that bloke. Another one of them gets a headshot in. Get another one down there. Right here, I start medding up. I start healing. And then I stop halfway through and I try and blow up the Jeep because I know that'll clear both of them. And that was a bad decision. And as soon as they start engaging me again, I go, you know what? Let's do this right. Because the biggest problem here is not where they are or what they're doing. It's that I don't have any health. You've got to be combat effective. You've got to be able to take a hit. If they push on you to trade hit points, you've got to be in a position where you can at least take a hit or two to get the trade through and win it. So that was a bad decision at first, but then we came good and we figured it out and we prioritized things into the correct order and we cleared those guys anyway. Someone else got the last guy that was over there on the other flank. And I'm at an acute angle and they're actually pushing up here on these guys as well. So there's one of them has a Mini 14 just on the right here. You can see him firing away. So we're going to clear him first. And then, as I did earlier, I'm going to use the smoke. And if anyone who's played with me will tell you just how much I hammer the idea on smoke. Smoke is a game winner. It is absolutely, it's almost like the ability to create a high probability of the enemy missing behind a certain area for a certain period of time that you can use offensively and defensively. So I'm going to do that again here. This is purely defensive and it gives me all the time in the world. I wait till the zone's about to pop, because if the zone's about to pop, it means they're about to run as well. Then I drop my smoke, run behind the tree cover. So even though the grass doesn't render out there, the bushes and the trees actually do render, which means you can still be going past broken cover. And now there's no chance they're going to get me there, and we go off and we met up. Then we get moving again and we go to the center of the zone, basically the center of the zone, because I don't know where the rest of the teams are and there's only so much you can do. And this is the great thing about playing this mode. You're always at a disadvantage. You're always the underdog. You have lone wolves who take it really, really seriously, even though it's a Minizone arcade game, and they will just lie in grass and wait for you. You have people that are in squads that are moving around and reviving each other and being very, very aggressive. And then you have guys like me who are just idiots who are out there trying to... No, I'm not even trying to win. I'm just moving from one engagement to the next. I'm using this as a way of improving my game. And I think, now if you've watched my tanks channel, you'd know what I'm on about here, but I believe hugely in process. I know that I am not the most talented gamer in the world. What I do to give myself the most opportunities to win a game is to have good processes. So I put myself in positions where the advantage is mine, and it comes down to quite often being in position first. Now, that's not to say that I can't win a brawl, that I can't win a dogfight, that I'm not good in CQC, because there's a lot of people that I can beat in CQC. But the main thing that I do is work on making good decisions. And I think that a lot of games, and people get frustrated when they play games because a lot of the decisions they make lead to bad outcomes. And I'm not about that. So this guy's pushed up on me, the guy that I just shot there. And this is very, very instinctive. And after a while of doing this, you can see there's a Gren coming in. Right, so I'm going to bail while he's cocking that Gren. He doesn't have a gun in his hand, so I'm allowed to move up. That's an advantage for me. And then I'm going to be able to strafe through this door. And the only place he's going to be able to see is the door. And we nail him. And then while we're doing that, we're going to go and, pick all his gear up. Someone else comes in a buggy. And I'm going to set up in this corner. Now, I like to move and get there before they actually get here in the buggy. The reason for that, obviously, if you're running around a lot, then they'll know where you are. I'm watching him, waiting. That's not even the end of that squad. I don't know where the rest of that squad is, but this is the last bit of it. They've got an American flag on them. That guy didn't, but the other guy did. King X APL 25. And then we're cleared and we're moving again. And that's really it, guys. That's why I play this. It builds good muscle memory. It builds good processes. It makes you a better player of PUBG Mobile. And if you can do things like this in solo versus squad, you roll up in a first-person game or a third-person game that is solos, and it's a lot easier, man. It's like you're lifting the bar all week in the weight room at 250, and then you roll out for the day of competition and the bar's 180. And you're like, well, I've done much harder than this all week long. I got no problems today. So you're confident, you're vibrant, you're a fantastic human, and you're ready to do battle with life. And remember those guys I told you about earlier? The guys that just lie in the grass and wreck you? I'm about to get hammered by one of them. But it's valid. It's completely valid. And it teaches you that if you don't pay attention, and if you take for granted that everyone's in a squad and they're hanging out over there and having a squad fight, you're going to get wrecked. And I absolutely do not pay attention to my 6. And for that, I lose my opportunity to win what would have otherwise been a pretty spectacular solo versus squad chicken dinner. So I hope you like this one. I hope you enjoy the school portion of this. Please forgive me for wearing my Earth Day nerd outfit. There you go. Just hanging out with the wang out up the back there, you cheeky monkey. Well done, well done, well done. No hard feelings there. Totally deserved it. Didn't cover my 6. 2,090 damage, 12 kills, 21.2 minutes survival time, and a whole barrel of laughs. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel, like the videos. It'd be great if you guys could share these on your Twitter feeds or, on your Facebook page or wherever it is your squad hangs out. The more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. I love doing these kind of videos. So until next time, be nice to your mum, feed the dog, and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.